Hi everyone. I am looking at the review lessons for today and they are amazing and I if you like would like to look at these together with you because it's these ideas that bring about in us that complete reversal of thought that um, allows us to access the happiness and the love and the rest that's buried deep within your mind underneath all the uh, thoughts of illusions that keep it hidden, right? So that reversal of thought is what allows you to experience who you truly are. That reversal of thought allows you to vacate a place in your mind where God, where truth, where light can resurface, right? So these idea has infinite value to us, correct? They have infinite value because what? They give you everything that you're looking for, right? Everyone on earth here is looking for happiness, for love, for rest, and yet they can't. They can't find it because it's not here, because there's no such place as this. Correct? So it's these ideas that unlock in you the light and love and rest and peace that you've been looking for. And the power of these ideas is without limit. In fact, you only need one, right? But we're given many. But they finally only are different forms of the same idea, right? God's Son is whole and perfect. Yeah. So I want to look at these because they're amazing, and these are the reviews lessons, lesson 60. And the first one is God is the love in which I forgive. Now, what it says is the blameless cannot blame, and those who have also accepted their innocence see nothing to forgive. Yet forgiveness is the means by which I will recognize my innocence. Right? Forgiveness is the closest you can come on earth to love. This place doesn't know of love. This is a place where love is wholly absent. And yet there is no place where love is wholly absent because there is only love. Said it can only mean that this place isn't real. Now, many of you in your spiritual awakening may indeed have had an experience in which you really noticed and were shown that this world isn't real. Hmm? And once you've seen that, you can no longer wholly believe that is real. But then here you find yourself and you need to practice that, right? You notice that, okay, I'm back, I have a function to fulfill, I'm going to practice that. That's that's this, right? So it's through forgiveness that you experience who you are. It is through forgiveness that you experience that this world is not real. But it's through forgiveness that you experience that the love of God is all around you. And remember, forgiveness doesn't forgive what's real. Forgiveness doesn't reveal what happened to you. Forgiveness recognizes that what happened to you didn't occur, right? That you're the cause of it, that you're not a victim, that you're not unjust, that you cannot be unjustly treated, right? Because trying to forgive something that actually happened to you is not really possible. And the reason it's not really possible because if it actually happened to you, it's unforgivable. Only in dreams, right? And we certainly have mentioned this many times before. This is nothing new. Eastern religion has been telling you a long time that the world is not real, right? That this is an illusion. It is, right? But it needs repeating, it needs reminding, it needs practicing, right? Because you get caught up in it. So you forgive illusions. You do not forgive what's real, and you're the cause of it. This is why forgiveness is easy. Without it, it's not only hard, it's impossible. So that's kind of a crucial um, accept that you need to, you know, that a fact that you need to accept in your awakening, and that what you're forgiving isn't real. The second lesson is God is the strength in which I trust. It says it's not my own strength through which I forgive, right? It's the strength of God. Once you forgive, you feel that strength literally becoming available to you. It's the strength of truth, the strength of source. And when you experience it, you know it's not coming from you. You've never experienced anything like this in the world. It's a strength that seems to be coming from deep within you, and yet when you have it, you know it's always been yours. It's that strength which allows you to forgive because you're no longer relying on your small idea of yourself, right? You're relying on source. What an amazing idea, right? There's nothing to fear, the next lesson. why is there nothing to fear? Because everyone here seems to be fearful, correct? Everyone on earth is experiencing fear, which is why you're on earth, right? Why is there nothing to fear? There is only love. There is no opposite to love. The opposite of love is fear, but there is no opposite to love, right? Fear is something that you've made in denying who you are, right? So you're here to learn that there's nothing to fear. What happens if you accept that there's nothing to fear? And again, you're going to need to practice that. But what happens? You feel the love of God, right? You're allowing for yourself to experience something else than fear, because the human mind is in a constant state of fear, whether it's intense or whether it's maybe less intense. But the fear is there, right? And through forgiveness, fear is undone in you, right? Because once you forgive what you think has been threatening you, um, fear is undone. It cannot not, right? And now you are experiencing the love of God. That's how simple that is. That's the undoing of fear within you. Amazing. God's voice speaks through me all through the day. This is a very true thing. This is not just a good sounding lesson. This is very true. God's voice is speaking through you all throughout the day because of why? It's always guiding you. It's guiding your thoughts, your actions, everything that you do, right? And when you still your mind, again, through forgiveness, it's kind of a forgiveness is kind of the right the connecting the thing that connects everything, right? The underlying constant in all of this. When you forgive, your mind stills, and when it stills, it listens to the love of God. Right? So, yeah, God's voice speaks to me all through the day. There's not a moment in which God ceases to call on my forgiveness to save me. Right? You're constantly being called to forgive. And but you know that. You have many opportunities all throughout the day. There'll be things constantly that require your forgiveness. Right? Even the things that at the moment when it happens to you, you really forgiveness is the last thing on your mind. Right? Why did he do this? Why is this happening to me? Right? And you go to all the things and you're starting to condemn and you're starting till what? Till you sufficiently practice that your first reaction should not be condemnation but forgiveness. Now, does it take practice? Sure. But what's wrong with that? What's wrong with practice? Yeah? But the rewards for forgiveness, the rewards for applying your mind in that action, right, are way beyond the what happens if you don't forgive, which is misery, suffering, right? Anger, fear, you name it. So these are the thoughts. And then finally, I'm sustained by the love of God, which is an amazing idea, right? You think in this world you're sustained by money, by power, by food, by all these things are the laws that you've set up within your own mind to sustain yourself. But it's not true. You're sustained by the love of God because that's what you are. And you go like, well, does it mean that I don't go to a doctor? Or doesn't mean I don't eat? That's not what I mean, right? That's not what it says at all. What it says is you're sustained by the love of God, right? And again, that's a fact. It's not open to discussion, right? You're not gonna tempt that by going, I'm not gonna eat today from now on. That's not how what I mean at all. What I mean is that's the truth about yourself and it needs to be accepted, right? It doesn't say, oh, do not eat anymore. None of that, right? These are statements about truth that you need to make your own to start thinking in an entirely new way, and that brings about that reversal of thought. So these are a few of the ideas that I've given us today as you go about your business of the day that that make accessible for you what you've always been looking for: peace, love, rest, right? Light, right? Because there's a light that becomes available to you within your own mind as you practice these. So I just wanted to share these with you today because that's all we do finally in our awakening, right? We share our own awakening, we share our own love and light, and we remind each other and we join in that remembering. And when two minds recognize their oneness, they become glad, right? And then you just celebrate, right? Until you accept it, you just practice, right? But once you recognize that you and me are one, we become happy. At that point, there's nothing to teach. There's nothing, and if there is something to teach, we'll gladly um, recognize that that's true. So, really, truly, this is just always a reminder, right? This is every day is a reminder. This is what you're here for. This is what you're here to learn. I love you. I hope you have a great, great day today, wherever and whenever you are. And I'll see you everywhere.